I've generated over six figures and 50 million plus views in my early 20s from online business. In today's video, I wanted to see if it was actually possible to make money for online from selling digital products. So I gave myself 30 days, started from scratch, and today I'm going to break down exactly what happened, the wins, the mistakes, and what I would do differently if I had to start over. Now, number one, why I tried this. Now, I had tried to sell a community in the past before, and it really didn't work too well, especially being able to monetize it. So in this case, I figured I would just sell a lower ticket product and try to drive traffic to it. That was my whole idea. And of course, people talk about this online, but I really wanted to show my exact results. Now, for me, in this case, I thought about what I was actually interested in. I think this is a huge mistake people make because they tend to think of how they can make the quick dollar instead of thinking about the long term, who can they actually provide value to and what type of expertise do they have. Now, in my opinion, I think everyone has some sort of expertise, that they can pretty much talk about, and it doesn't even feel like work, right? Because you know so much about it, you had to work on this problem for yourself, and now it would be something where it wouldn't even be too much of a lift just to talk about it or teach other people. And you probably spent so many hours consuming different topics, so you basically already have, the results and have done the work. Now, for me, I'm not going to reveal the exact niche. I mean, if you've seen my other videos, maybe you know it. But in this case, I found a niche that I felt was solid. I felt like there was pretty much a barrier to entry as well because it was a bit of a taboo type of topic, which even in my opinion, I thought could be used as a positive, right? So I had to think about how I was going to package everything, right? How was I going to build out, the course, right? How was I going to build this out? Am I going to do info, just typing things? Am I going to do video? So what I decided to do was make a video course, right? And it breaks down everything I know. But what really makes the difference is including my personal experience, because it was something where I had hands-on personal experience with this problem, and I felt like that hands-on experience would show people my transformation of where I came from and where I'm at now, which would give people the confidence to even try to buy from me, right? Now, what I actually did for this was I sat down and I spent a long time figuring out how to actually script the course, figure out, what type of information should be in there, what shouldn't I include, what's actually helpful to people, and just, spilling knowledge in terms of everything that I've learned over all of these years, right? So it was really research in terms of structure and what I wanted to include, because I didn't want to forget things. I really wanted to plug in all of that into there. And I needed somewhere to host the course. So I decided to go with a very popular school, SKOOL. Decided to host the course on there and charge $49. So this was definitely on the lower ticket side. Now, the biggest challenge is kind of fighting some of the perfectionism because, you have all these things where you're like, man, I want this, to be perfect. At the end of the day, it's never going to be perfect. I mean, even me speaking on camera right now, it's not perfect, but it's kind of moving in that direction. Now, the next piece I thought about was how would I market this? Now, I had a YouTube channel that kind of talked about some of this stuff, but it was more for a community that I wanted to build versus this was just the product. So I decided to use that same channel. Again, had less than, maybe 50 subscribers. And what I decided to do was just post, right? Continue to post on here and focus on the long form and just teach people my expertise, kind of what I know, and really just focus on problem solution videos. And of course, I had, CTAs in there where I'm pretty much telling people, this is kind of, promoting the product, which is kind of the ladder you could think of where it's okay, this is their current situation, this is their desired situation, and here's the ladder to get there. Now, I actually ended up making my first sale, and let me see if I can get it here for you guys. I don't want to leak the email, so I did end up getting one sale for $49, which was huge, right? Because it really changed, and maybe let me crop a picture here. It changed my belief about online business. So there's this idea that, people almost think that maybe they can't do it, or it's kind of impossible for them to do it. And I kind of had this idea too, because I had never really made a sale. And when you've never made a sale, there's this idea that it kind of can't be done, right? It's almost like a limiting belief that's baked into us, that people, in society has put on you to say, okay, I'm this type of person, no one has done this before. So, it can't be done. And that was one of the biggest things for me, where I had to really think about it and say, no, this is possible. It can definitely be done. And I almost had to shut off my brain. And that's what I've realized with a lot of these kind of businesses, because you want to tweak something, every single time. And here's just some results. So if you can see there, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, you have one member, and then you see $49. So did make a sale. There's the proof there. Hopefully the camera is picking this up. But it showed me, and it just kind of broke that limiting belief. And that's why I really think that when you make that first dollar online, it can change so much. And really now, and this was something where this wasn't a short-term play for me. This is something really long-term, or I want to see where this goes, because I really think in terms of business, the people that can stick around the longest, and there's so many different business models. I think you have to find what you're interested in, what vehicle can actually get you to your goal. And you guys, like I mentioned before and kind of talked about my goal in the previous video, it's important to think about also what you're willing to put up with. And in this case, I really do like the digital product kind of space. And it seems like, if you have enough traffic, which of course is the thing that would take a long period of time, you can definitely generate results. But it's really starting from, what is the problem? What am I passionate about? And what can I solve for other people? And then just going hard from there. But if you enjoy these types of videos, man, and want to learn more about my business journey, click this video on the screen now.